किसी में नहीं है सुना अब ऐसे तो ये अच्छा वो एक ना ये पिज्जा है हाँ सर ये सुनिए ना ये अब इसमें स्पीकर ही नहीं है अब ऐसा करिए ये जो डाउनलोड वाला है ना उसको जरा शेयर कर दीजिए ना हमारा डाउनलोड क्या नहीं हाँ कौन ये इसमें स्पीकर ये वाला डाल दूँगा कम से कम वन में भी होगा वन साइड ये वाला मैथ पार्ट शेयर कर गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स क्लास नहीं ठीक बात okay so you can hear me अच्छा listen again today this is going to be one way ठीक है because I cannot hear you because there is no speaker to share so today as you can see on the screen we are going to read chapter 2 geography land water soil natural vegetation and wildlife तो ये हमने को खाली में लेकर आए सर ये शेयर किया आपने इसका भी साउंड हमको नहीं आएगा अच्छा ठीक है उनको साउंड नहीं आएगा ओ ठीक है okay so first chapter we have seen resources that's what you read so resources are that anything that we which satisfy our needs for resources and the resources especially are material or the substances that we get directly from the nature without any modification is called natural resources. So if you see the topic land, water, soil, natural vegetation and wildlife, it's called all resources. But can you tell me which type of resources all these are? You can write in the chat box since I cannot hear your voice. Again today is going to be one way because there is no speaker. Can you write in the chat box? The topic land, water and soil. These are resources. All the things land, water, soil, natural vegetation and wildlife are very important. Okay, so these are resources, but can you tell me which type of resources it is? It is natural resources. Okay, so how land, water, soil, natural vegetation and wildlife going to be so useful or is so useful for us that we are going to see in this chapter. So all of you take out your chapter 2 page number 9. Can you see the video? Now, you can see in the first page, there are examples. Examples are given of two places. One is that in a small town in Tanzania. So you can see Tanzania. Okay, here in Africa. Can you all see, you can see the screen now. Okay, I hope you can see. So this is Africa continent and here it is Tanzania. So Mamba gets up very early in the morning to fetch water. It's a boy, sorry girl, and she has to walk a long way and returns after a few hours. So if you see Tanzania, that it is actually, Africa, the three latitudinal zones that passes Tropic of Cancer also, Capricorn and Equator. Okay. So almost this Tanzania is below equator. Okay. So here in Africa, most here in the northern part, if you see, it's the northern part Algeria, Mali, Niger, is the whole Sahara, the Sahara Desert, world largest desert that passes through. So almost northern part, 11 countries that counts in Sahara Desert. So this is Africa, the continent mostly it is very dry. Okay. So Mama here she lives in Tanzania country, okay, which is in Africa continent, and she has to bring water. For that she has to walk miles, and then she helps her mother in the house and joins her brother in taking care of their goats. So that the rear animals also. Now all her family owns a piece of rocky land, and around there small hut Mama's father can barely grow some maize and beans on it after plodding hard. So क्योंकि अफ्रीका की जो land है बहुत deserted है, rainfall also very scanty. So vegetation, agriculture is very less because the land is not so fertile. Sir, ये तो सुन रहे हो, हम chat box ऐसे देख सकते हैं. अब लगा दिए, अब आवाज.
Mamba gets up well.
So you can see here. They of course they grow maize. Okay.
In the heart of the ship-wearing region.
And of course, so they have since the land is very, not fertile or barren, they have to grow corn, maize because that of course is quite easily can be grown in especially area like Tanzania. And their water is very scarce, very scanty, so they have to bring water and Peter on the other way. So their life is very difficult in Tanzania. Where in the other way, there is another example of a family who lives in New Zealand. So you can see here in the New Zealand is an island below Australia. Can you see the map? Can you see the map? Okay, so Peter lives in New Zealand, you can see which is located below Australia. It's an island where his family runs a food processing factory, and every day when he returns from school, Peter watches his uncle and where his family runs a food processing factory. एक मिनट मैम मैं पूछ लेती हूँ कि आवाज आ रही है. हाँ, आ रही है. हाँ, so you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. So Peter, that's why Mama's life and Peter's life. You can see the difference. Peter, their family runs a food processing factory, and every day when he comes back home, he helps his uncle to take care of the sheep, and their sheep yard is situated in a wide, grassy plain with hills and Mama's family, they do all the tasks completely in a very traditional, old manner, like in a primitive, like how the people were doing the agriculture. But here Peter, who lives in New Zealand, the life is completely different. They have a large areas of land where they have a food processing factory, field, large acres of land, and then all the tasks is done all in a scientific way. So Peter's family also grows vegetables through organic farming, and their family also, Peter's family, they grow vegetation, but through organic, that means no chemical pesticides or harmful, pesticides are used, or manures are used. So that you can, we have seen the two examples, and with these two examples, we can understand that the lifestyle or of mamas and Peter are very different. So obviously, so yes, whose life is very difficult here? Whose life is difficult? Hello? Mama's life, because can you hear me?
What now?
Okay. So Mama's life is very difficult, Mama and her families, because they have a very beautiful land, and that also barren land where they could manage, barely they manage to grow some crops, especially corn, and that is also not even lasting for the whole year. Okay, they have only few goats, maybe the goats milk or meat they manage with that. But Peter, their families, they are living a very good life because they have big factory, food processing factory, they have a big areas, greenery, the grassy land is there where they can grow vegetation and also do farming using organic way. So their life, Peter's family are quite prosperous, whereas Mama's family must be very poor. So why there is a difference between Peter's family and Mama's family? That is because of why there is no difference? Why there is a difference? Can you tell me? The difference is because both of them were living in two different areas. Okay, where the climate is also completely different and the topography is also completely different. That is, the type of land is completely different. African Tanzania is very dry region. Rainfall is very scanty. You can imagine if the rainfall is very scanty, how the agriculture would be done. So of course, because most of the fields or roads will require water. So only the crops which could manage to grow with a less rainfall can be grown. That is why they have to grow only corn, and then because even animals for grazing we require pastures, green grassland. That is also not available. So that goats with that they have to manage. So the land, the type of land which Tanzania, the mamas they have in Tanzania and Peter they have in New Zealand is completely different. So that is why you find the lifestyle or the people of living in New Zealand must be more weightier than people living in Tanzania. And the life of people living in New Zealand is more easier than the people living in Tanzania. Okay, so this is because of the difference which are a difference of climate and topography. That means the soil, the type of soil is also different, the type of land is also different. So it's very important that the first thing that if you want to grow vegetation or agriculture, it is very important to have good quality of soil. So it depends the type of land where we live. So that's what the first factor we are going to see is land. Now land is the most important the natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface. Can you see the blackboard? Can you see the blackboard? Can you see the blackboard?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is out of all the resources is most important. And you know that if you see the earth, see the total earth is made only 30% is land. And the rest is 70% is the rest 70% is
Water.
what? The rest 70% is
Water.
water, yes. The rest 70% is water. Because the earth is a two-third part covered with water. Clear? So up this 30%, you know, this 30%, this 30% of land is making, you know, this 90% of population. 90% of population is 30% male. This 10 and 20 equal to 30. And this 10% male, 90% population is female. So this is 10%. The total is only 30% land that we have. Today Earth may have only 30% land area. And out of those 30%, only 10% the land where world is 90% population is. Why? Because maybe this 10% maybe have rain, ठीक है, paid areas. Okay, so this may be paid areas. You know, the maximum here, September, where it is the paid areas. So people who work they choose areas. So thank you. Okay, where we get the minerals, space, it is very suitable for agriculture, making houses, constructing buildings or factories, agriculture, forestation, vegetation, everything. So as the world including 90% population that only lives in 10%. So you can imagine how will that that is why there is so much of population density in some areas why there is so much of population and especially the river banks, the cities which are located in river banks like you know even in Europe, London has a Thames River area that is going to be very populated. In India, Ganga River is good bank like especially UP cities, okay, Patna or Allahabad or okay, Banaras. All these cities are densely populated. Okay, even in China, the Guangzhou River Kinare hai. All the cities are densely populated because those areas are very good for fertile and for human habitation because agriculture can be easily done and road transportation, roads can be easily made. So it is very good for the economic purpose, factories and all can be easily set up. That is why world with 90% population lives in the 10%. It is in 10%. This 10% may be world with 90% population base. So on बाकी जो 20% land है, ये 20% land है, उसमें 10% of population lives. So you can imagine why the 20% because this 20% may be mountains, okay? Mountains, hills or desert. Desert movie. So obviously who would love to live in the desert, but the climate could be very harsh, either maybe very cold or very hot. Okay, or maybe rainfall is not there, rainfall is very scanty. So in those type of areas, especially plains are not there, barren lands are there. So people generally avoid settling down in those areas. Okay. So that is why land is very important. And most of the activities, most of the human activities, what are the human activities, Vanilla? What are the most of the human activities? What are the activities of the human? क्या क्या activities है? Sridhar,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the human activities? Yeah, agriculture, okay, building houses, then building roads, building forests, okay. All these are factories, these are the human activities. And where these activities all are done? Only on the land. Yes or no? So
Yes, ma'am.
major activities of human are all done on land. That is why land is the most important natural resource. Okay. So you can underline in the textbook. Do you know this factor? Do you know 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of the land. So of the area, the remaining 70% of the land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. Okay. Now, uneven distribution. अब ये जो uneven distribution है, ये क्यों अलग है? 90% है, क्यों सिर्फ 10% कवर एरिया में रहती है? या फिर उसको अगर हम 100 में करेंगे तो 90% पीपल दे ओनली 30% और बाकी जो 10% है दैट रिमेनिंग जो 70% लैंड है तो उसमें 10% ही लोग रहते हैं. ये अगर हम 100 में करेंगे so why there is an uneven distribution? Why there is not equal distribution? The reason is that underlying why there is a distribution, an uneven population distribution because of the following factors. Okay, first is land because of the type of land and climate. This is not a very important thing. It is like a land. If you are asked to settle down, okay, if you are given a choice to either settle down in deserted area or to settle down in plain areas. Most of the people who prefer to settle down here plains because everything there is easily available, roads, and transportation, making houses, agriculture, everything is. Whereas even the climate is also good. Whereas you find that desert is too hot, water there is standing, obviously water is standing, agriculture also very scarce. So that is why people generally prefer to live in the areas which are very suitable for them. And the plains are the best area, okay, where they find quite easy to get all the resources. Now, let's be talking to topography. Topography, what is the meaning of topography? Topography means type of land. It is the land. So we have seen
Ma'am?
yes.
What is the meaning of topography?
Topography is a type of pattern of land. There's a type of land in Calcutta. If you see all around, you find somewhere hills, you find somewhere that is the mountains, you find somewhere plateaus, then you find desert, then you find plains. So type of land that is called topography. ठीक है तो अगर रक्त topography है रक्त is ऊपर power that is barren okay तो रक्त topography ऊपर power ऐसी जगह है और the steep slopes steep slopes जैसे hills में होते हैं steep slopes लाल बहुत steep तो agriculture भी बहुत मुश्किल है घर बनाना भी बहुत मुश्किल है in the steep slopes roads also making roads also difficult that is why एक किलोमीटर पे एक तरफ होगा, फिर दूसरे कहीं 1 किलोमीटर पे एक तरफ होगा, because life is very difficult, है ना, and fetching water and going to market because roads are not there. If you go to Arunachal Pradesh, life is very difficult. Roads are not there, mountains, trees are there. People have to, walk distance. They have to climb mountains and roads. All difficult are there. So in such areas, population is very less. Mushkil life people, they don't want to live. They prefer to live where they could lead a very comfortable life, where and paints and textiles that they provide such comforts. So low-lying areas which are susceptible means prone to, जो बहुत आसानी से किसी पे असर आता है, किसी पे ज़्यादा असर हो जाता है, जैसे अगर बहुत लो लाइट एरियाज है, तो अगर पानी आएगा तो उसमें पानी आसानी से जम जाता है, जैसे बिहार में देखोगे जो लो लाइट एरियाज है, हर साल एवरी ईयर फ्लड कम्स, अब उनके लिए कॉमन हो गया, बट देन फॉर देम लाइफ इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट because rainy season, all their fields and all our houses all covered with water. And then everything they have to carry and they go to the other areas which is quite, the higher, or then they have to manage the whole year. That is why people in especially Bihar, they have to go to other states. But those the areas, low-lying areas where water, logging, वाटर कैन बी इजीली लो, जब पानी बहुत ज़्यादा जम जाता है, तो पानी अगर जम जाएगा तो ऐसी जगहों में पौधे तो क्या होते हैं, उनकी जड़ों में फिसल जाते हैं, ठीक है, तो दैट इज व्हाई दैट एरिया also you cannot grow vegetation या you cannot do agriculture especially in the rainy season. Then desert areas also are extreme cold. Daytime temperature goes repeatedly, and nighttime of course it goes sometimes minus 1 to 3 degrees. So and then of course vegetation is very scanty. Only few type of animals which have also adapted to live. So those only can be weird. So life is also very difficult in desert. Then deforested areas are normally sparsely populated or uninhabited. So these type of areas है और ये बहुत घने जंगल को जैसे Amazon basin areas का और it will be rainforested. Throughout the year, it rains densely populated, so densely forested. But those areas also, the population is very less. People are inhabited. Those are areas that inhabited. Where you find there are very less population, sparsely populated. So which are the areas are sparsely populated? Which are the areas are sparsely populated? Sumansi, Vikas, Ishan. Which are the areas are sparsely populated? Ishan, can you hear my voice? Yes,
Yes,
then,
sir.
then tell me which are the areas or which type of topography, type of land which are sparsely populated or inhabited, जहाँ बहुत कम population है. Give some example. कौन से एरिया में लोग नहीं रहेंगे? कम रहना है. Yes.
Ma'am, global populated.
Yes, desert area. Okay. This desert area, the sand, all over you find sand only. Desert areas है. Sea slopes, the areas with sea slopes, the बहुत सी mountains and sea slopes. इस तरह का. तो ऐसे में घर बनाना है ऐसे एरिया में घर में of course terrace manage for all the basic amenities, and people have to struggle a lot. So that is why people will prefer to live in such areas. Steep slopes, and low-lying areas, low-lying areas, okay, then densely forested areas. Such type of areas are sparsely, sparsely populated or inhabited. Okay, so such areas are sparsely populated. And which areas are densely populated? The densely populated areas are also areas below Nala. Which areas you prefer? Huh? What area we are talking? Plains and river valleys. Okay. Plains and river valleys. These are highly populated because you know the areas on the plains which are formed by the river's annual soil. They are very fertile, and that is why you find the Ganga river keeps in arid areas. So they are very fertile. Brahmaputra rivers. Even in older countries, the areas or the plains which are formed by the edible soil that are very fertile, and these areas are very populated. So most of the population or the people prefer to live in the banks of river or the plains. Okay, because these are areas suitable for agriculture. Now hence population density or densely populated areas are plains. Okay. Or plateaus also we prefer because plateaus are rich in minerals. Now next topic that is the land use. Next topic is land use. Now what do we mean by land use? By this term, what do you understand? Land use, the way we use the land for various purposes. Okay, like for agriculture, for construction or for building roads, factories, or houses, okay, or forest for plantation, all the purposes for that the land is used, that is called land use. That is the term. So you underline land is used for different purposes. And what are the purposes that is used? That is used for agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, and setting up industry. And this is commonly termed as land use. So what do you mean by land use? What do you mean by land use? The simple way, the purposes, the varieties of, or you can say the different purposes for which land is used, like agriculture or forestry, mining, or setting up industries, etc. is termed as land use. तो लैंड यूज सिंपल है जिस पर्पस के लिए हम लैंड का यूज करते हैं दैट इज कॉल्ड लैंड यूज दैट इज टर्म्ड एज लैंड यूज सो व्हाट आर द पर्पसेस दैट वी यूज लैंड
constructing buildings,
यस फॉर
constructing buildings,
setting up industry Then Swanita, 1 point.
constructing buildings,
Okay, building. G.N. Prasad Rao. G. Naga Prasad Rao. What are the other purposes for which land is used? Chaitanya,
and for cultivation,
cultivation, very good. Aditya,
mining,
mining, very good. Ritisha, Ritisha, Devashish, those who are leaving meeting, it's a simple question. If you see around, if you look around, you can get the answer. What are the different purposes we use land? Your house is that your quarter, where it is made? It is made of hill or water it is made. Your school building, where is it made? All these buildings are made only on land. Agriculture, you find if you go a little bit outside the colony, you find their agriculture because of rainy season. Where it is done? Only on land. The roads where you walk, where it is made? Only on land. It is used that the mining is there inside the colony gate. If you go inside, this mining is there. Where it is done? Only on land. So these different purposes for which land is used. This is termed as land use. Now, can you list out different ways in which mamas and Peter family use their land? Swanita,
yes,
Swanita,
ma'am.
you tell me, Mama's family, how they were using their land, what activities they were doing on land?
And please repeat.
Mama's family, what were the activities that Mama's family were doing on land? मामा की फैमिली तंजानिया में कौन सी एक्टिविटीज लैंड में उनकी
Numbers double of calculating near
yes,
the hill
yes,
and double as using goats.
agriculture, yes, because they were growing corns, maize, makka. They were growing maize. That is agricultural activities. Second, they were rearing goats. That means rearing animals. ठीक है क्योंकि rearing animal the animals they require grass to eat है ना that was also was done so two activities were done rearing of animals and second agriculture okay whereas Peter's family in New Zealand what were the activities that Peter's family were doing in New Zealand Prachi Prachi Subha
People will cultivate animals to balance matters.
yes, so agriculture, you can say Peter's family were doing agriculture. Second, they had a factory now. So, fact setting up factory, they had a wool processing factory. Second, so cultivation, factory, okay, or agriculture. So these were the activities they were doing on land. So now the use of land is determined by the physical factors as topography. Abhi, the type of the way they are using the land, some areas people use it for mining, for making roads or buildings or setting up factories. So this the differentiation or this difference we find in different areas. The people living in a desert, they cannot use it for mining, for agriculture. So why there is a It's nothing is currently land here. In the areas where deserted, there is deforested areas are there. So of course, unless and until we cut down the trees, we cannot do agriculture. Okay, even mining is also difficult, and then making roads are difficult. Desert is also making mining is difficult. Setting up factories are difficult. Agriculture is difficult. Okay, six or 160 parts. Okay. So that is why the use of land depends underlying determined by the physical factor. Topography, there is soil. Which type of the soil that particular area has. Like if you want to grow water that requires black soil. Okay, rice, animal soil. So the type of soil is also very important for growing particular crops. Second is climate. If the climate is so harsh, like Ladakh, the freezing temperature, even sometimes temperature it goes minus, 20, 30 degrees. So in that areas and all the areas completely frozen with ice. So of course that agriculture cannot be possible in such areas. So extreme climate, if the climate is extreme, either too hot, or too cold. In that cases also agriculture or any other activities because people they don't prefer to live in such areas. Next is availability of water. This is also one of the very important factor for land use. So availability of water, that means water is not available. Can we do agriculture? We cannot do agriculture. So people who do agriculture, they even in the early human settlement, that the areas which were near to the river or river banks, they settle near the river bank so that they can get water. So availability of water is also depend on the type of the use of land. So human factors such as population and technology are also important in the base of land use pattern. So after these days, technology is also very important. Even if soil is even is not so fertile, but the people using particular technology they can grow or the other plants even if that area is not suitable. So with the use of technology or human population also very important for the land use. Now there are a table is given. One table is given that shows the land use in selected countries. Which countries particularly have the maximum number of cultural activities like agriculture or land they have or pasture or forest or other uses. So if you see there are Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, India, Japan, Russia, UK and US. Now you tell me out of these how many are European countries? Let me check. How many are European countries? This table is given. 10 countries are there. How many are European countries? Rajiv? All of you turn on your video. Sridhar? Tell me. Out of these 10 countries, how many are European countries?
No, your voice is not coming.
Voice is not coming. Out of these 10 countries, in table 2.1, out of these 10 countries, which are European countries? Okay, agar aisa nahi hai, tell me. First is Australia. Where it is located? Australia? Europe. Australia is a European country.
No, ma'am.
Then?
Ma'am, UK.
Okay, UK is a European country.
France.
France, very good. Okay, so only two countries are European countries, France and UK. Very good. Now you tell me which countries are Asian countries. Out of these 10 countries, which countries are Asian countries?
And which country?
Are Asian countries.
India.
Okay, India.
Now India.
Very good.
Japan.
Very good.
China.
China, very good. So these three countries are Asian countries. China, India and Japan. Very good. And one more.
Russia.
Russia. Okay. Russia is also, of course, little part, some part that comes in, Eurasia.
Russia's part is in Europe also.
Yes, that's why. I told you, is some part that will come in Europe, and that part is for Ural mountain. That almost 66.5 degree longitude. That from that comes down. So Ural mountains is जो अलग part है, that is called Europe. That is why it is called Eurasia. ठीक है? Now tell me which countries that lie in North America. Out of these 10 countries, which countries?
Canada.
Canada, very good. और कोई बता सकता है?
USA.
Okay, Sridhar, wait, Sridhar. Nitisha, you tell me.
USA.
USA and USA, only USA. North America, how many countries are there? सबसे नॉर्थ में क्या है? नॉर्थ अमेरिका कॉन्टिनेंट.
Alaska.
ओके, तो अलास्का, ओके, और ये यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में है. ठीक है. सबसे ऊपर कनाडा केवल यूएसए, देन मैक्सिको. ठीक है. So all these are North American countries. So now rest is now, what is left? Brazil. Brazil is which country?
South America.
Very good. South America. Very good. Now under is left first is Australia. Australia
continent.
Very good. Australia continent. Very good. So now it is over. Right? You should know now which countries are Asian countries, European countries, or North American, South American, African countries. Okay. Now if you see the percentage of cropland, which name the countries having highest percentage of land under cropland? Which countries have?
India 57.
Yes, India has maximum percentage, that is 57%. Why? Because India has almost 70% of population that depend on agriculture. So 57, the percentage that is cropland. Then next number comes after India. Whose land has the measure or maximum? France, that is 35. Okay, in pasture land, which country has maximum pasture land? Australia. Okay, that is why the Australia में सबसे अच्छी wool, merino sheep. Class 7 you might have read that. Merino sheep. Australia is that we get merino sheep. Okay, so the best quality wool that we get. So pasture means, what is the meaning of pasture?
Rearing of animals.
Rearing of pasture means grassland. Okay, yes, very good. So जहाँ grass rearing animals, maximum number of animals can be reared. Yes, very good. Okay, good. Now forest area, the maximum number percentage of forest area.
Japan.
Japan, yes. So Japan has the maximum number of forest areas. Okay, so other than what other activities are left? Now we have seen agriculture, we have seen rearing of animals, then forest. So what are other activities are left? Mining, then okay, mining is left. So other activities like mining or for
And
construction.
rivers.
ठीक है? हाँ, yes.
Rivers.
Rivers. Okay. So other uses और land हम और कैसे यूज करते हैं? माइनिंग के लिए, ठीक है, और कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए, ठीक है. So बाकी countries so which has some other uses, that is Canada has the maximum for other uses. इसमें mining हो सकता है, forestry हो सकता है, okay, और construction of roads और buildings हो सकता है. But the Canada has very less human density. बहुत कम population density है. Almost 24 people per square kilometer. सिर्फ 24 लोग रहते हैं, ठीक है. वही इंडिया में अगर इलाहाबाद या नॉर्दर्न एरियाज में देखोगे तो 324 पीपल पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. तो तुम इमेजिन कर सकते हो व्हाट इज द ग्रेट डिफरेंस. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट विल सी Swarnita, Prachi. Read that now you can read. Page number 11. Land also can be classified on the basis of ownership. ठीक है. Now land को हम ownership के हिसाब से ऐसे differentiate कर सकते हैं. First is page number 11. First paragraph. Page number 11. All of you take on page number 11 and you underline also. ठीक है. So land can also be classified on the basis of ownership, like private land and community land. So private land, as the name suggests, name से ही पता चल रहा है कि private land is owned by individual. जिसमें सिर्फ तुम्हारा हक है. तुमने किसी जमीन को खरीदा है and you can only use that land for either for agriculture or making houses or any other purpose. That is called private land. Whereas the community land is owned by the community. जैसे community जैसे तुम्हारा community hall होता है या community shop तुमने सुना होगा या a land where like a fair or any marriage or any festival celebration, that all the people of all community that can be used for their purposes. That is called community land. Okay, so that means community they can use for common uses like collection of fodder. जैसे गांव में है collection of fodder लकड़ियाँ जमा करने के लिए या fruits or nuts or medicinal herbs. Okay, that is called community land. So these community lands are also called common property uses. So community land, what is the meaning of community land? That is owned by the community. मतलब उस जमीन पे एक का अधिकार नहीं होगा. जैसे पूरे गांव के लोग हैं तो उस पूरे गांव के लोगों का अधिकार होगा और वहाँ से जिसको जो इच्छा है like they can collect the fodder, they can take the animals for grazing, they can collect fruits for nuts or medicinal purposes. Okay, so that means the land which is used by the community. Okay, that is called community land. So on the basis of ownership, land can be classified into which two groups? Prati, on the basis of ownership, land can be classified into which two groups? Devatsmita?
Private land and community land.
Yes. What do you mean by private land?
The land which is owned by any individual.
Yes. ठीक है, land which is owned by an individual and individual only can use it for own purpose. और कोई दूसरा जो मेरी जमीन जो मैंने खरीदा है उस पर और कोई दूसरा यूज नहीं कर सकता है। Whereas in the community land, what is the meaning of community land? Community land which is owned by
The land
community.
was used for common uses like flowering and
ठीक है, जैसे
collection of
एक गांव हुआ,
flowers.
ठीक है, जैसे एक कोई गांव हुआ और जैसे उस गांव के लोगों ने मिलजुल कर कोई जमीन खरीदा, ठीक है, और वहां समझो कोई एक पर्टिकुलर फेस्टिवल, सब गांव के लोग एक ही रिलीजन के हैं और वो एक ही फेस्टिवल मनाते हैं, तो पर्टिकुलरली पूरे गांव के लोग उस जगह को अपने फेस्टिवल मनाने के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। जैसे आसपास के गांव में तुमने देखा होगा, और फॉर मैरिज वो पर्टिकुलर लैंड को दे कैन यूज, और इफ एनी फेयर दैट इज टू बी अरेंज, गांव में कभी मेला लगता है तो उस मेला को यूज करते हैं, ठीक है। सो ये पूरे कम्युनिटी, उस पर्टिकुलर विलेज की पूरे कम्युनिटी का उसमें अधिकार होता है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे कैन यूज इट टुगेदर इन अ कलेक्टिव वे। दे कैन यूज fodder or nuts or any other purposes that they can use. So people and their demands are ever growing. अब now we will see, अभी ये जो लैंड है, अब हाउ दीज आर बिकॉज ऑफ द ह्यूमन यूज, तो हम इरेगुलर तौर तरीके से यूज कर रहे हैं, तो इसका कैसे लैंड पे असर हो रहा है। So people as the demands are ever growing, जैसे with the population is increasing, हमारे डिमांड भी बढ़ रहे हैं, जब लोगों की पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रहा है तो ज़्यादा घर चाहिए, more roads चाहिए, more buildings to be constructed, more employment is required, for employment more mining और setting up factories are done। तो जब हम एक जो जमीन लैंड अब ऐसी चीज है जो बढ़ ही नहीं सकती, जो हमारे पास जो 30% लैंड है इन द होल अर्थ, उस लैंड को और बढ़ा नहीं सकते, वो 30% ही रहेगी। बट उस लैंड का अब उस लैंड पे इतना ज्यादा अगर बर्डन हो रहा है, बिकॉज लैंड तो सेम है, अमाउंट ऑफ लैंड इज सेम, बट द पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग डे बाय डे। As the year passes, the population is increasing, and that is why उस छोटे से 30% में इतना ज़्यादा burden है, because our demands are increasing, and to meet our demands, we are all dependent on the limited land. Okay, so that is why that agriculture, हम जंगल को काट कर we are cutting down the trees and expanding the areas of agriculture. We are cutting down the trees and setting up factories, setting up roads. So of course this is going to make an adverse impact, because the forest is also equally important for our ecosystem. Animals, plants are equally important. So how this is going to make an adverse impact in our life, that we'll see. So quality of land also differs from place to place. People started encroaching the common land to build commercial areas. That's it. तो कॉमन लैंड जिसमें सब लोग यूज कर सकते थे, उसको कुछ लोग इंक्रोच जबरदस्ती उस पर अधिकार करके कमर्शियल पर्पसेस के लिए यूज कर रहे हैं, हाउसिंग कॉम्प्लेक्सेस बना रहे हैं, जैसे मेकिंग हाउसेस कॉम्प्लेक्स इन द अर्बन एरियाज। So if you see the changes, there are concrete roads, arch buildings, apartments that you can see in the cities, in the and expand agriculture land in the rural areas। और गांव में देखेंगे क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रहा है और घर में लोग ज़्यादा है, और इसीलिए लोग ज़्यादा अगर एग्रीकल्चर पे डिपेंड है, तो उतने ही जमीन में अगर 10 लोग डिपेंड है तो उनको कम फायदा होगा। फॉर दैट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, तो आस पास के जो जंगल है उसको दे आर क्लियरिंग डाउन एंड मेकिंग द लैंड सुटेबल फॉर एग्रीकल्चर। तो उससे क्या हो रहा है, फॉरेस्ट लैंड कम हो रही है। Forest land, if they are decreasing, तो उससे क्या हो रहा है, the animals which are living in the forest, they are coming towards the cities and they are being killed by the human being, and they are very important to maintain the ecosystem। That is why there are the carbon, इतना जो गर्मी अभी हमारा बढ़ रही है, the CO2 level is increasing, because we are cutting down the trees because our population is increasing and need to meet our necessity. We are cutting down the trees, reducing the areas of forest. So today the vast changes in the land use pattern also reflect the agricultural changes in our life. You can see the picture. So land degradation, landslide, soil erosion, desertification are major threat. You underline? तो इन सब का असर, जो नेगेटिव असर क्या हो रहा है कि लैंड डिग्रेडेशन, जमीन का डिग्रेडेशन हो रहा है बिकॉज अगर हमारे पास छोटी सी जमीन है, हमारे पास और जितने 10 लोग उस फैमिली पे खाने वाले लोग हैं, तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर्स यूज कर रहे हैं ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन हो, पर उससे लैंड की क्वालिटी, सॉइल की क्वालिटी खराब हो रही है, लैंडस्लाइड हो रहे हैं। वाई लैंडस्लाइड? बिकॉज इन द माउंटेन्स और हिल्स, the trees there, the trees are actually helpful for binding the roots, soil. The trees के roots है वो soil को पकड़ के रखते हैं ताकि वो जो मिट्टी है वो ना बने. But when the trees are being cut down, the soil becomes loose, and then what happens? That the soil comes down in a mass. तुमने देखा होगा कैसे पूरी जमीन है खिसक कर मिट्टी नीचे चली आती. That is called landslide. And this is the reason is because we are recklessly cutting down the trees. जब हम trees ही काट देंगे तो उन जो slop areas में मिट्टी को टाइट कैसे रखेगा, क्योंकि trees roots तो है नहीं, trees तो already are cut. So this actually the reason of our the reckless cutting down of trees. Next, soil erosion हो रहा है. Soil erosion means when the rain comes, जब पानी आती है ना, so when the first layer, the upper layer of the soil is washed away, इस soil की land की ऊपर की कुछ layer भी fertile होती है, और जब पानी आने से जब वो जो लेयर जब बहकर चली जाती है तो उसको हम बोलते हैं सॉइल इरोजन. और ऊपर की जो फर्टिलिटी है ऑफ द सॉइल दैट एक्चुअली वॉश्ड अवे. तो ये हम कैसे बचा सकते हैं एक्चुअली? बाय प्लांटिंग मोर ट्रीज. When trees are there that hold the roots, when trees are cut, so these are the things that happen. Now desertification, obviously जब पेड़ नहीं है तो that also invites desertification. तब तुम ज़्यादा देखोगे कि desert areas, ये भी कहा था कि कभी किसी जमाने में desert इतने नहीं थे, but because the trees are being cut down, that desert areas are increasing. So these are the things happen if we will not control on our activities. So because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities, we can see the picture. In the first picture, you can see the agriculture, the human habitation, and the houses are very less. Even the forest also you can see. In picture 2, you can see the difference. Instead of huts, now the concrete houses are made, roads are made. You can see people are using scientific method, and then factories are set up. The forested areas which are more that have decreased. You can see the picture. Then picture 3, you can see the clear thing. Agriculture, the land which has completely decreased. Now the forest is also completely removed. Instead of that, roads are made, buses are running, cars are running, and the total rural areas turned into urbanization. You can find all the forests are cut, and instead of that, big apartments are made. Fourth, you can see everything, all greenery is removed, and only little bit park. Instead of that, agriculture area parks are made. Street lights, you can see all apartments, only houses that you see at factories. This is what being done today. Okay, this is actually the scenario of this is the present scenario. How because of the growing population, the forest areas are being decreasing, the agricultural lands are being decreasing, and instead of that, the big factories and houses are made. So how this is going to make a big, adverse impact in our life or land, that we will see in the next class. Okay, so next class we will see how we need to conserve land resources. Okay, so I wind up the class. Thank you.
Thank you.